Hi guys, this is Vishal. This video will talk about building Spring Boot Consumer to read Avro messages from Kafka topic. This is actually the continuation of my last video where I built Spring Boot Producer to publish Avro messages. If you haven't watched Producer video yet, then click on the notification popping above. So let's get started. Alright, so in order to build a consumer to read Avro messages, first we need to set the properties related to consumer. So again, I'm going to use the same project that we created last time for a producer part, and in the same project I'm adding the consumer properties and consumer related classes to read the Avro messages. Okay, so first go with the application YAML and set the properties. Okay, so if I open this application YAML, here I have added some generic or some basic level of consumer related properties like group ID. So I'm giving the group ID name as a Spring Boot Avro Consumer ID. Then key deserializer. Okay, similar to key serializer, we have a key deserializer. It's again string deserializer because we are using string as a key in order to push messages. Now coming to value deserializer, similar to serializer which we use like a Kafka Avro serializer, we have another class that is called Kafka Avro deserializer. Okay, so if I open this class Kafka Avro deserializer, you see this. Okay, if I open, it's present under same package. So I'll copy this, paste it here, and the class name. All right, so this is our deserializer. Now I'm going to add one more property that will define the behavior of consumer, that is auto offset reset. Okay, this property is telling the consumer how to read the data from the Kafka topic. That means when you publish the data onto the Kafka topic, that means you are adding onto the offset. Now that offset will increase as and when you add the data. Now when you build the consumer, from where you want to read the data, whether you want to read from the start of the offset or from the latest offset. Okay, so there are two possible values over here. One is earliest, saying when you build this consumer for the first time. Okay, so first please note this auto offset reset. Okay, it's not a rest, it's a reset. This property applies only first time when you build a new consumer. Later on it will start from where it is left. Okay, so auto offset reset value earliest, that means read the messages from Kafka topic from the first offset, that is from the offset 0. And second possible value here is latest, that means read the messages from Kafka topic from the latest offset. Now latest offset can be anything, maybe 10, maybe 100, maybe 1000, anything. So read from that message. But now I'm only keeping here earliest because I want to read from the start of the offset. Okay, so I'm going to keep earliest. Few more properties I want to add here, so I'll add properties under it. First is a Schema Registry URL. So I'm going to copy this because we also require Schema Registry here as we are talking with Avro. Okay, and we need to specify one more, telling consumer that I'm going to read Avro messages. So Avro colon specific colon reader colon true, saying that it's an Avro specific reader. So we are setting that flag as a true. Okay, so we can include in double quote as well, like this, right? So this is our two properties. So we have built the consumer related properties here. Now next is I'm going to create a config class. Okay, so here under this config package I'll create my class config. I'll add the annotation @configuration. This is to create a consumer config. Okay, and here I need two beans to be created. One is a consumer factory and second is a Kafka listener container factory. So I'm simply going to paste that two beans here, right? Let's import that bean and all. This is our two beans. Okay, now create the listener. Okay, within this consumer package I will add new class Spring Boot Avro Consumer. Okay, @service, this is a Spring annotation. Create a method, public void read, okay, and add @Kafka listener, right? Here first is topics, okay, we need to mention the topic name, and second is the container factory. Okay, container factory being we have just created here, this one. So I will copy this name and use it here. Okay, now topics, this topics we have a property, right, this one, Avro topic name, so I can use this. Okay, so here I can say Avro dot topic dot name, so it will refer to that topic name. Now in a read, the parameter I'm going to mention is the class called consumer record, right? It takes key and value, that is string, and value is a stock history. Okay, this record is provided under Kafka, Spring Kafka library, and consumer record is a class which holds Kafka data in key and value pair, that is string as a key, stock history as a value. So you can access key as well as value during when you listen the message for any particular process. Okay, now here I can access those key equal to record dot key, right? I can access the key. Similarly, stock history, right, saying record dot get, not get, just value, right? It's a key and value, and here I am just simply print those. Println saying Avro message receive for key, okay, this is key plus value plus history dot toString, right? So I'm just only printing key and value here. So this is about our consumer. We build the consumer, we build the config, everything is ready. Now let's try and test this application. Okay, so I will start the application. Okay, you see application started at the same time. It is starting the consumer with a consumer ID like Spring Boot consumer ID. That's the one we have given in the application YAML, this one, right? Okay, I'll clear this console and let's try to push one message and see if we can consume it. Okay, I'll go to Postman. I have this request to produce the message. I'll click on send. I'll come back. You see we have an exception here saying class cast exception, Avro generic data record cannot be cast to this stock history. Okay, so it is a something, it's the error says that you are not able to consume the Avro message. Okay, so let's go and check our properties if you have mentioned the correct properties or not. Okay, group ID is correct, key deserializer, value deserializer, the string, the syntax and all are correct. Auto offset reset wording is also correct. Under properties we have a schema registry URL similar to producer, it is also correct. And then we have Avro specific reader. Okay, so here we just swap the two. It's not an Avro specific reader, it's a specific Avro reader. Okay, so first comes specific and then comes Avro. Okay, this is how the property is. Okay, then it's true. Now it should work. Okay, I'll save it. I'll shut down the application and start it again. This time it should work. Alright, consumer is started. Let me clear the console. Again I will push, send. Okay, we have same again I think I made a mistake with this specific spelling. Okay, now it should work. Okay, clear the console, hit the request again here, click on send. Now this time it worked. First saying Avro message successfully produced, that means we send the request, and second one here you see Avro message received for a key, that is the key that we generated, and this is the value, right? If I push one more message with the different values, okay, I click on send. See, Avro message is produced. At the same time we are able to consume it. So that means we are able to consume Avro messages from the Kafka topic. Thank you for watching.